So it is August 1st, Tuesday, 2023. I am back from my vacation, which really wasn't a vacation, but we'll still call it that. I was still grateful to be out of St. Petersburg, so it's all good. Um, to be honest, I've grown a little impatient with the way things are going as far as the successes, the progress we're making. Um, I'll just keep it completely real. I have all faith in the lawsuit that's taking place against the FBI, the DOJ, the DHS. I have complete faith that this lawsuit will lead to the end of organized harassment. It's just a matter of when. Hopefully, it will come before the end of 2023. But even if it doesn't, it's still coming. We will one day be freed. That being said, um, I'm just still a little impatient. You know, I'm trying to figure out how to say this without offending people because I highly applaud Anna Toledo and her team. They're doing everything they can on our behalf and even on behalf of non-targeted individuals. You know, they're doing everything they can to try and get us justice and freedom. They're going by the book. They're doing everything right. You know, it's just the fact that the court system is so slow. It just takes so much time. And even the governmental criminals that they're going after, even they know that all they have to do is apply for an extension of time. And, it stalls it out even more, as they did before the case was dismissed by the first judge. And in the process of waiting for our freedom and justice, we're still being bombarded. Um, and I'm just at the point now, I'm ready to take matters into my own hands, do what I have to do to help further justice and freedom. Now, before anybody starts getting any ideas like, oh my God, don't tell me she's one of those types. I'm not one of those types. I don't advocate violence. I don't resort to physical violence to try and further a cause. To me, it's not very smart when people do that because you only have two outcomes when you resort to violence to try and spread awareness about targeting individuals and organized harassment. The two outcomes are only imprisonment and death. And people that have done that, they risk their entire lives, threw their lives away basically to do that. In their minds, they thought it was for a good cause and that they would be spreading awareness, but at the same time, they mistakenly gave the wrong idea about targeted individuals. Most of us do not resort to violence to try and end our targeting experiences. We don't do that, and I would never encourage anyone to ever do that because, like I said, you're pretty much throwing your entire life away when you do that. I mean, even when this entire thing is exposed and it's proven that you were a targeted individual, I mean, it's not going to do you any good because you're going to be in jail or prison or you're dead. you know, I think about some of those people that have gone on to commit atrocities because they became so desperate for their targeting to end and they wanted their own justice and revenge. But I can't ever imagine them being released from prison, those that are still alive. Like Stefan Marlowe, for example, or Christopher Stamont. You can look up those names. I might even do a video one day about people, targeted individuals who went on to commit violence against their harassers out of revenge. But they're still going to be in prison because you can't claim self-defense if you're not acting in self-defense. I mean, self-defense is when you're physically defending yourself in the moment. It's not when you plan out a murder. That's not self-defense. So I can't imagine, those targeted individuals ever being given a pardon or ever exonerated because they made the wrong choice. But anyway, to get back on point, what I mean when I say that I'm taking matters into my own hands is that, I'm going after the government. I'm going to do it the way I'm going to do it. And it's going to be legit. That's what I'm saying. I'm not an extremist or anything like that. It's going to be legit. I'm just, I'm just impatient. I'm tired of waiting, and I'm tired of doing very little while I'm waiting. I mean, I do advocate on social media. Um, and I do what I can around my city to spread awareness, but I feel like I should be doing more. And I'm racking my brain trying to come up with solutions that all of us TIs can stand on as a united front. Because I feel like, as much as we are united, there is still a lot of division between us. I mean, even just on online communities, you still have a lot of TIs that, they're skeptical and suspicious of other TIs. And too many people still waste too much time trying to prove who is a real TI and who is not. And then you have those, if you don't agree with their beliefs or their opinions, immediately they turn against you. And a lot of times, and I've seen it on social media even recently, they will block you. And then on their page, they will advocate against you. And it's like, I just never understand why people waste their time doing that. That's not where our fight is. We need to go after the big boys that's running this. We don't need to go after each other. It just gets to me how harassers are so united with each other. That's why the program is 100% successful. Now imagine if we as a community were so united as they are. Imagine how powerful we would be, how successful we would be. We would be able to accomplish anything, regardless of, the advantage they feel they have over us. But there's just so much division in our communities. By now, we should have our own physical communities, not just online, but even in person. But, there's not enough trust between TIs. It's not. But anyway, I'm just gonna start going after the ones that are running this program. To me, the people that participate in this, as much as they go out of their way to make our lives a living hell, I still see them as the pigeons, the peasants. They're the pawns of this entire thing. And, once you realize they're pawns, it's easier to go above their heads to shoot at the ones that are actually running this entire thing. These people will probably be pawns for the rest of their lives. When this is all exposed, God only knows. Some of them will probably end themselves, while others will probably try and find something else they can hook up to, to get that feeling back. Because a lot of them feel so empowered to be able to be in a group that can stalk and harass people with little to no consequences. But those consequences will come. One day they will come. These people will regret this. In the meantime, I have a low-key plan of what I'm going to do. I'm still working out the ins and outs of it. It's legit. They can try and set me up all they want, but that's why I'm keeping everything legit. I'm not letting the program try and set me up to make it seem like I'm doing something I'm not doing, something that's illegal. I'm going by the book. I'm just going to do this in my own way that's by the book. So they can't try and set me up and claim that I'm advocating for violence or that I'm stalking and harassing someone else. I would never do that because it's too easy for them to make a case off of it. I'm not about to be in prison or jail for none of these people. None of them, and especially not the government. But like I said, I'm just grown impatient. I didn't do a video yesterday. I didn't advocate much yesterday at all because I've just been trying to come up with solutions for us targeted individuals. Something, stances that we can stand on even in the midst of waiting for justice and freedom. But I realize those stances aren't going to work if we're not united. Even with the aggressive pushback theory I gave in a video about a week or two ago. And when I say aggressive, I don't mean violent. You can be aggressive just in your tone. I'm not talking about being physically aggressive. I just mean standing up for yourself more aggressively against those that are stalking and harassing you. Like just confronting them, for instance. Although I would never confront a purple harasser without a video camera, some kind of camera on me. That way, if they try to set me up, I have the proof on camera. You can't come up with a fake narrative when you got the camera that's showing everything that happened. But I believe if the majority of us TIs stood on that aggressive pushback stance where we're standing up against these people, like I said before, it would catch the people's attention and get them to think. Not only would it do that, it would catch the government's attention as giving them these directions. Because, perps and harassers are going to start standing up, not standing up, but they're going to start complaining to the government about the retaliation they're getting from targeted individuals when they're doing stuff against us and we stand up against them. They're going to start complaining and wondering about their own safety for once. And, then the government, I feel, will have to rethink how they're doing this physical stalking and harassment against us. I think it would at least slow that aspect of it down. That's my theory on it. The problem is, even TIs who have the same perspective, you have to be consistent with it. And that being said, it can take a lot of energy and attention, but I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with solutions. Some people will say, well, you just said that you should focus more on the government and not the people. Well, the point of that is the government is going to, get the message anyway if you take that stance of standing up against harassers. That's the whole point. It's going to get their attention. Sometimes you have to use these people to get the government's attention if you know what you're doing. You gotta think. But at the same time, sometimes I wish I had people I could actually debate this out with, other TIs, in case there's something I'm missing. I already know there would be repercussions if the majority of us started standing up against our harassers. The government would retaliate more than likely by amping up the directed energy attacks. I've been dealing with that more of recently, especially now that I'm trying to come up with more ways for us to beat this entire thing, and the fact that I'm advocating more. I've been, ever since yesterday, I've been going through it pretty hard. I mean, constant headaches, and pain relievers aren't really relieving the pain. That's how I know it's the directed energy weapons that's doing this to me. And then the nausea and the dizziness, on and off all throughout the day. Sometimes some moments are worse than others. And then yesterday I was even having heart pains, and it's like, wow, they're really amping this up. I'm really pissing them off, trying just to come up with ways for us TIs to be united. But I'm still not going to give up. I'm still not going to give in. I'm not going to be silent about this. I'm just going to keep fighting. This entire thing has consumed every aspect of my life. So, to me, it's a cause worth dying for in a legit way. Not with violence, but if they decide they've had enough of me and they make me have a heart attack or something like that, it's whatever. At least I'll die going down for a cause that's worth it. A good cause, instead of what they do. They think they're standing for a good cause, but how they think abusing and harassing someone is a good cause, I'll never understand. I'm standing for justice and freedom while they're standing for wickedness and corruption and deception. So, I could never be one of them. Never. So anyhow, that's where I've been ever since yesterday. That's why I've been kind of quiet, just kind of racking my brain, trying to come up with something that all of us TIs can stand united on, and an approach and a stance we can use when we're being physically stalked and harassed by these people. And like I said, I'm going to work my other plan in the background on the down low. I'm not going to go into details about it until it's done. And even then, the only reason I'll go into details is so if they try to set me up, I already have the proof, the video proof that's, it's not what they said at all. It's just advocating. But we'll see how it goes. And maybe later I'll do another video, maybe not. Right now I'm just focused on trying to come up with solutions on how to slow, at least at the very least, slow down the targeting, if not outright end it.